for our first tradition of the Big East. I just kind of wanted to know, out of curiosity, how did you find out, or when did you find out that was getting back to the Big East?
I mean, I don't really remember exactly. You know, I've been involved with that right along the way, so it was a real process. You know, I mean, I'm so involved that it's hard for me to pinpoint or tell you. I couldn't really answer that. I can't even remember now. You know, but I've been working on that since I got here.
And what was your general reaction?
Well, I mean, just thrilled. I mean, I just knew that this is something I had envisioned when I came here, and I knew that this was an important thing for the university, not just the football program, but the university. And I knew there'd be opportunity. You know, of course, I didn't have a crystal ball with all the twists and turns and things that happen along the way, but I always felt that this would happen for us. It was a natural fit. The program was in the right direction for that to happen. It was really, honestly, the right thing to happen. It should have happened, and it did. So, you know, the urgency that all of a sudden now we're playing right now, you know, wasn't prepped for, you know. But that's fine. I mean, it's great and terrific, and we just got to get ourselves going and, you know, recruit. We've had some good recruiting classes, but I haven't had a chance to, per se, recruit to it. I mean, you know, this class coming in will be that first class. And, you know, from this point forward, we've got to match and exceed the recruiting in the Big East.
Is the level of competition in recruiting are those the biggest changes?
Yeah. I think what it is that, I tell everybody this is not the first time you heard me say this. You no longer have 3-4 games that you look to and you say, okay, we should win those games, okay? I mean, are they gimmies? No, nothing's a gimme, but you should win them. You're now in a situation where you know there's no one you don't feel you can beat, and there's no one you feel that you can beat. You're scratching and clawing every week right now, and that's a change and it's an adjustment for a program. I believe that, and you know there's no margin for error. And so we've got to find our edge, and we've got to be at our best, and that's something I think is learned. Now we got to learn it fast, and that's it. So I mean that's a challenge, without a doubt.
With Matt Brown specifically, is there, you know, he's gotten a lot of touches the last 2 years. Is there something that you've seen or that you expect from him to kind of, as he goes into a senior year, that you expect more from him this year to see skill-wise?
Yeah, I just think he has a better knowledge of the offense, and I think our offense gives him a better opportunity too as we move forward to what we really want to do. And I think that the amount of times we're going to run the football, there's no way that you can do that without having a group of backs. You know, we're not that typical team that's going to, you know, be a 50-50 blend run pass, and we're just not. I mean, so, you know, guys are gonna get banged up, guys are gonna get knocked out, guys are gonna get tired. Matt's a big special teams guy. So the fact that we have some depth right now is critical. Without that depth, it's hard to run the ball the way that we want to run the ball.
Do you have the
yeah, it's a whole new facility. I mean, it's incredible. It's not an addition. I mean, it's an addition with a complete renovation, and it's really fun to watch as it's been being finished. Now we're in the process of decorating it, exteriorly, interiorly, the whole wrap that's going to go. I mean, this place will never look like you see it. I mean, it's gonna look like it's a big time facility inside. It's going to be decorated like one. So that's a real statement for us that where we're headed in this conference and in this football program. It's really cool.
Is there more Temple needs to do?
Well, we're in the process of putting together an indoor facility. So that's the next step. You know, so we have a first-class facility. We'll have an indoor facility. And we don't really, you know, we're at a par with all the other Division 1A programs at that point in time. You know, so that's something right around the corner.
Coach, you have 4 linemen that aren't coming back this year, but you also have a quarterback who didn't use the third swing at some point last year. What's the bigger concern in offense? The offensive line or the quarterback staying consistent?
I mean, our quarterback was the MVP of the ball game. We have a quarterback behind him that is outstanding, and we have a guy coming in here that's played major college football. So we have 3 quarterbacks that can run our offense. Our offensive line has got a depth issue right now, and that's just a fact. If we stay healthy, I like our 5 guys. Our 5 guys right now are ahead of where our starting 5 were last year at this time. The problem is we have less depth right now, and so, you know, if we have a rash of injuries, it's going to be a problem for us. You know, if we don't, we'll be all right.
So how's Witt and Jamin?
Jamin's practicing. Witt's not back practicing yet. I don't know how long. You know, maybe a couple days, a week after Witt. I don't know. But I mean, nothing serious. I mean, there's no alarms. But you know, It's a rough physical game, man. So we got to develop 6 and 7 right now, and that's really where it's at for us. We have to get that done.
You talked about last year's senior class a lot. How does this year's the leadership qualities of this year's class compare so far?
I thought the last year's class did a phenomenal job of just embracing our program. That's all I can tell you, man. Those guys embraced it and ran with it, and that doesn't always happen. The group this year now, this is their program, and there's not a change here, and they've taken the next step and running with it. So this is kind of the difference.
You talked a lot about the concern on the outside, you want a playmaker on the outside. Do you think that's an even greater concern playing in the Big East, where some teams might have that playmaker have a better defense?
I just think that you have to challenge the field. On offense, you've got to make them defend the whole field, vertically and horizontally. If you don't do that, when you play against better teams, they can stymie you pretty quickly. So you've got to be able to challenge the field. I really feel like we can in a lot of different ways right now. Our playmakers we're starting to see guys really stepping up out there, making plays, which is kind of nice to see.
Does any team in the Big East scare you guys this year?
They all scare us. I mean, they're all good football teams, And I know myself, our coaching staff, and our players have a great respect for the Big East Conference and the teams that are in it. And I'd rather use the word respect than scared. It's just a respect. It's not scared. I mean, Temple's played the University of Connecticut before. Temple's played Penn State. Temple's played Maryland. I mean, but we respect the fact that we're going to be in a dogfight week in and week out. And I think to them, every kid would tell you that. So I got to be careful how you phrase that question, but that's really deep. They would tell you that. And, you respect that you'll be in a dogfight, and that they got quality players, and that we have to be super well prepared.
Do you think they respect or fear you?
I really don't care what they do. You know what I mean? It's irrelevant what they think. I don't really waste any time thinking about opponents. We're gonna show up, and we're gonna play really hard. We're gonna play our brand of football. And all I would say to anybody would be, they'll know they were in a football game after they played Temple. They can count on that. I don't know what the outcomes are going to be, but they can count on the fact that this team's going to come after them. Yep.